14-pound turkeys. This one has been cooked for 8 hours. Now, just have a look at that skin. It's withered, it's sunken. I can feel the flesh is going to be dry. Now, look at the flesh here. It's soft, it's tender, it's going to be succulent inside. How long has that one been cooked? 4 hours. Believe me, 4 hours. If you're using a 14-pound bird, 4 hours will be plenty. And that's going to feed probably 8 to 10 people. And I promise you, I'm going to show you exactly how you can achieve this with nothing but simplicity and flavour in mind. So just imagine, it's Christmas Eve. Now, this is a fresh turkey. If you're using frozen, that's fine, but make sure it's well defrosted. That's very important. So there we have it, the bird, simple. Next, of course, is that classic pork and chestnut stuffing, which works so well with turkey. What I've got here, 750 grams of pork sausage meat, and then to that, I've added 2 onions, finely chopped, some chopped sage, the zest of 2 lemons, finely grated, 200 grams of chestnuts, there's 100 grams of white breadcrumbs, and there's 2 apples just peeled and grated. Gives a lovely little sweet flavour and works well with that lemon. Also, there's 2 eggs, salt, pepper, and a little bit of ground mace to give it that little spicy finish. Now, the first thing I've done is actually taken a knob of butter, the 2 onions, and just lightly cooked them in the butter, and then I've added to that the lemon zest and the sage. Just allow that to cool before you're literally going to mix all the ingredients together. It's as simple as that. Just throw them all into the bowl with the sausage meat, mix well, and this is what you will have. A lovely, delicious chestnut and pork, sage and onion stuffing. Now we're actually going to stuff the bird itself. What I've actually done is loosened up the skin. Let's make some space here. And I've pushed my hands underneath the skin between the breast, like that. We're making that sort of opening gap. What am I going to do next? Well, I've got some butter here. Look at this. All you do now, push it underneath like that, scrape it off the spoon. Let's go for one more. Let's be a little bit extravagant. Now, I know you're saying extravagant, but just remember, it is Christmas. We can afford to do this because it's extra flavour. So, butter is in. Now what do? Just push it across the breast like that. Right, now we're going to actually stuff the bird. Turn her over. And, of course, we've already released that skin from the actual breast itself, so there's plenty of room to put the stuffing in here. Now, this is delicious because that's going to add extra flavour as well. Also, that butter will run down the breast and it's going to actually get into the stuffing, so even this is going to be more flavoursome. Next, we just literally pull that across. There's plenty in there. What we're going to need is just a couple of cocktail sticks. Push that through. In fact, even just one will do, and we'll hold all of that in. And that's it. Now, look at that. We've formed a wonderful shape to the actual bird. One other thing I'm going to do is just take a little bit more butter. I'm being really extravagant here, aren't I? But just brush it over like that. Just a little. That would be plenty. Something else I'm going to put on top is bacon. If you don't like bacon, really don't worry. Leave it out. But the beauty of putting bacon on top of the bird is, of course, you get that lovely fat that keeps it moist and, again, helps the breast. So all I'm going to do is cover the actual breast like this, so we're not going to overcolour too early. But you'll notice this really does have a lovely effect just looking at it, even at its raw state. I think it makes me hungry looking at it now. Let me turn that round and show you. Look at that. That is wonderful. So that's it for Christmas Eve. All you have to do now, cling film it, pop it into your fridge, bring it out on Christmas Day, and we'll roast it. Now, there's another important part to this, because when you're going to put it into the oven, you just want it on a gas mark 6, and that's about 200 degrees, but only for half an hour and with no foil. At that point, we will be putting a little basting over it and a touch of foil, and you'll start to see the colour form. There we are. Half an hour has passed, and just look what's happened already. You see, we've taken on this lovely, lovely crisp colour onto the actual bacon, so that's a texture, and we've got this golden colour happening on the bird itself. But I'm going to make sure we protect that, so when it's finished, it will have just that rich golden all the way over and not burnt in places. First thing, let's start basting it, because that is going to just put flavour back into the meat and help with our colouring. Now remember, once this has gone back in the oven, every 20 to 30 minutes, give it another basting. Extra flavour, extra taste. On with the tin foil. So we're just going to cover it like that to protect her. Down to 180, gas mark 4. 3 hours later, we shall take this foil off and it'll still then just have half an hour to